The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, forgotten histories, and fascinating discoveries. Among the many vintage coins admired by collectors worldwide, one small but historically important piece continues attracting attention year after year. The 1964 half-cent from the Republic of South Africa. At first glance, this coin may appear simple because of its small size and low denomination. But once collectors and historians begin exploring its background, they quickly realize that this coin carries a remarkable story connected to South African history, culture, leadership, artistry, and old world craftsmanship. Today, this vintage half-cent coin is appreciated not only for its monetary value but also for the powerful historical journey it represents. The 1964 Republic of South Africa half-cent belongs to an era when coins were an essential part of daily life. During the 1960s, people used small denomination coins regularly for transportation, groceries, newspapers, shops, and everyday purchases. Back then, even the smallest coins carried real purchasing power. Modern generations living in the digital payment era may find it difficult to imagine a time when a half-cent coin had practical use in society. Yet this tiny coin once moved through countless hands, markets, and businesses across South Africa. One of the most remarkable features of this coin is the obverse portrait of Jan van Riebeeck. He was known historically as the Commander of the Cape and remains one of the most recognized figures associated with early South African colonial history. His image appeared on several South African coins throughout the mid-20th century, becoming a familiar symbol within the nation's currency system. The portrait on this 1964 half-cent was engraved with impressive detail considering the coin's small size. The facial structure, clothing features, and artistic balance demonstrate the advanced engraving techniques used during that period. Around the portrait appears the famous inscription Eendrag Maak Mag, which translates to "Unity is strength." This slogan became deeply connected to South African identity during that historical era. National mottos on coins are extremely important because they reveal the political values, cultural ideals, and emotional messaging governments wish to communicate to the public. The phrase "unity is strength" gives this small coin an added layer of symbolic meaning that collectors find highly appealing. The artistic creator behind this beautiful design was Willie Myburg. His contribution to South African numismatic history remains respected among collectors today. Designing coins requires extraordinary precision because artists must fit meaningful imagery, typography, symbolism, and national identity into a very small metal surface. Willie Myburg successfully achieved this balance through elegant engraving and classic composition. Even decades later, his craftsmanship continues, receiving admiration from numismatists worldwide. The reverse side of the coin carries a simpler design, but still maintains a timeless vintage appearance. Many collectors believe older coins possess greater elegance because their designs focused on clarity, balance, and strong artistic structure instead of overly crowded modern patterns. The clean appearance of the 1964 half-cent reflects this traditional style perfectly. The denomination and year placement provide a classic visual presentation that immediately feels historical and authentic. When discussing vintage coin values, collectors always focus heavily on condition. Condition is one of the most important factors influencing a coin's market price. A coin that spent many years in heavy circulation may show scratches, fading, worn edges, and surface damage. Such examples still carry historical significance but often sell for lower amounts. On the other hand, a well-preserved coin with strong detail, sharp lettering, original shine, and minimal wear becomes far more desirable among collectors. High-grade examples of the 1964 South Africa half-cent can sometimes reach estimated values around $15 or even more depending on market demand, collector competition, and preservation quality. Many beginner collectors assume that every old coin automatically becomes valuable over time. However, the coin market operates according to several important principles. Age alone does not determine value. Instead, rarity, condition, historical importance, collector demand, survival rates, and mint quality all work together to influence pricing. The 1964 half-cent attracts attention because it combines all these characteristics in a balanced and appealing way. One fascinating aspect of low-denomination coins is that many disappear over time. Because half-cent coins were considered small change, people often ignored them, lost them, damaged them, or discarded them entirely. Unlike larger silver coins which families frequently saved, small copper coins usually experienced heavy circulation and poor preservation. As decades passed, fewer quality examples survived. This gradual disappearance increased collector interest in well-preserved specimens. The copper appearance of the coin gives it a beautiful vintage character. Over many years, copper develops natural aging patterns called patina. Some coins turn deep brown while others display reddish tones or darker antique surfaces. Collectors often appreciate these natural aging effects because they make each coin unique. A beautifully aged copper coin can appear almost artistic under proper lighting. Photography and social media have dramatically increased interest in vintage coins during recent years. Coin collecting channels on YouTube, Instagram, and collector forums regularly showcase rare world coins using high-quality macro photography, cinematic lighting, and close-up detail shots. When viewers see the intricate engravings, textures, and historical artistry of coins like the 1964 South Africa half-center, they become fascinated by both the beauty and history behind them. The global coin collecting market has expanded significantly over the past decade. Collectors from the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East are increasingly exploring world coins beyond their own national currencies. South African coins in particular have gained growing recognition because of their rich history, unique designs, and connection to important historical events. Vintage African coinage now appears more frequently in auctions, online marketplaces, and professional collector discussions. Another reason collectors admire this coin is its educational value. Coins teach people about geography, economics, politics, leadership, art, language, and cultural identity. Every old coin acts like a miniature history book made from metal. By studying the 1964 half-cent, collectors learn about South Africa's Republic-era colonial history, national symbolism, and artistic traditions, all through one tiny object. Jan van Riebeeck remains a complex and historically significant figure. His presence on South African coinage reflects how governments use currency to honor influential individuals connected to national history. Whether admired, debated, or studied academically, his image on the half-cent permanently connects the coin to South Africa's historical foundations. This historical depth adds emotional and intellectual value for collectors. The motto "Unity is Strength" carries strong emotional impact even today. National slogans on coins often reveal the political atmosphere and aspirations of the era in which they were produced. When collectors read this inscription, they gain insight into the identity and messaging associated with South Africa during the 1960s. Such symbolism transforms the coin from a simple monetary object into a historical artifact. Many experienced collectors emphasize the importance of authentication. As collector demand increases, counterfeit coins sometimes appear in online markets. Buyers should carefully inspect weight, dimensions, edge details, lettering quality, and metal composition before making expensive purchases. Professional grading services can also help confirm authenticity and condition. Storage is another critical aspect of coin collecting. Vintage coins should be protected from moisture, dirt, fingerprints, and environmental damage. Collectors often use coin capsules, protective sleeves, albums, or certified holders to preserve surfaces and prevent deterioration. Proper storage helps maintain both historical integrity and financial value. Coin grading itself is an entire field within numismatics. Professional grading companies examine coins under magnification to evaluate where surface preservation, strike quality, and visual appeal. A single grade difference can dramatically change a coin's market value. For example, an uncirculated example may sell for many times more than a heavily worn version of the same date. The history of South African currency is incredibly rich and diverse. Over the decades, the country produced coins featuring wildlife, political leaders, cultural symbols, plants, animals, and national emblems. These designs reflect changing political systems, artistic movements, and social identities across South African history. The 1964 half-cent represents one important chapter within this larger numismatic story. Older coins also attract collectors because they represent a slower, more tangible era of human civilization. Before smartphones, online payments, and digital banking, coins served as essential physical tools of commerce. Every transaction required real currency changing hands directly between people. Vintage coins remind modern generations of that earlier economic world, Some collectors specialize specifically in copper coins because of their beautiful As interest in world coins continues growing, future collector demand for historical South African coins may increase even further. Coins once ignored in circulation are now carefully researched, photographed, preserved, and displayed by collectors across the globe. The 1964 Republic of South Africa half-cent stands today as more than a simple coin. It represents history, artistry, leadership, national identity, craftsmanship, and the enduring fascination of numismatics. From the engraved portrait of Jan van Riebeeck to the powerful inscription "Unity is Strength," every detail on this coin tells a story from a different era. For coin collectors, historians, treasure hunters, and vintage enthusiasts, this small copper coin continues shining as a remarkable collectible with lasting historical significance. Even after more than 60 years, the 1964 South Africa half-center remains an unforgettable symbol of classic coinage and timeless craftsmanship.